Welcome back. The labor shortage is hitting all aspects of U.S. society, including education, where school hours are being curtailed in some parts because of a lack of teachers. Here to break it down for us in one particular jurisdiction is Aaron C. Spence. He is the Virginia Beach City Public School Superintendent, and we also have Yahoo Finance's Arthi Swaminathan. Aaron, thank you for joining us here today. Can you tell us the particulars of what's going on in your district and what you're seeing here?
Yeah, so we're dealing with a lot of things. Obviously, we're trying to keep school open in the middle of a pandemic, and we're dealing with fairly significant staffing shortages and dealing with some academic challenges that are becoming clearer and clearer to us as we've had students back in school. And I think all of those things are leading to a lot of stress for our teachers and the need for us to try to work together to resolve some of that so that they can be at their best for our kids.
Some of the labor pressures that you're seeing has led you to cut, for instance, hours on Wednesdays. How bad is the pain right now? And why did you arrive at that decision? Was it the parents? Was it teachers? What kind of forced you to take that direction?
Yeah, well, we're hearing a lot from our teachers. And I think I want to be clear, this is not a Virginia Beach issue, right? This is a state and national issue. I think we're hearing from teachers all across the country that they're tired. They taught during a pandemic. They were asked to do things that they had never been asked to do before. I think we got into the spring of last year and things felt like they might be a little bit more normal as we headed into this new school year. And then the Delta variant got us and we had to open the new school year under a lot of the same mitigation protocols as before. And you add into that there are significant academic challenges, as I said, that we're just starting to figure out. And our teachers are just tired. They're tired and they're overwhelmed and dealing with a lot of the mental health issues that I think many folks are dealing with as a result of the pandemic. So we talked to them about how we could help. And they gave us a lot of different thoughts. And one of the things they told us was we just need more time. One of the things I mentioned was staffing shortages. We're about 100 positions short instructionally in Virginia Beach right now. And so teachers are covering classes. They're covering hallways. They're covering cafeterias. And they don't have the kind of unencumbered planning time that they need to have in order to best prepare for instruction for our students. So one of the decisions was to go to out early dismissals once a week between here and into the new year to try to give them back some of that planning time.
You mentioned teachers are tired. Teacher pay has been another parallel conversation running alongside teacher shortages. But I'm curious because the jobs report said there was a drop in education jobs, and JP Morgan is forecasting another drop of 50,000 in October. So what is happening here? And what are you doing? Are you sort of boosting pay, or are you seeing more quits? How are you reconciling these two issues?
Yeah. Well, no, you're exactly right. There's been a teacher shortage crisis looming across the country, and we're certainly seeing the effects of that. And I think they've been exacerbated by the pandemic. We've never been in a position where we didn't start the school year with fully staffed on our instructional side. And as I said, we are at 100 short this year. I think there are pay issues. I don't think that in our nation we pay our teachers what they're worth. In Virginia, for example, there's a 40% pay gap between our teachers who have a bachelor's degree and everybody else in the Commonwealth who has a bachelor's degree. That's unsustainable when you think about young people and how we entice them into our field. If you're at a four-year university and somebody says to you, do you want to be a teacher and make 40% less than everybody else who graduates from this university? What's the enticement? We know teaching is a terrific occupation. It's a wonderful calling. It's also a lot of hard work, and there's a science to it, and it takes dedicated professionals. And we've got to do better as a country to make sure that our teachers are both respected, which is another issue, but beyond being respected, paid what they're worth.
And let me ask you really quickly, do you think vaccine mandates are exacerbating the problem? And what's been parents' reaction to all of this?
Well, I will say in Virginia Beach and in Virginia right now, there aren't very many school districts with vaccine mandates for their teachers. Now, we know that's coming down from the federal government. We haven't gotten the rules yet promulgated through our Department of Labor and Industry. But I think when that comes, it is likely to exacerbate the issue, just like we've seen in some of the other professions where they have a vaccine mandate and you've seen people leave who don't want to get a vaccine. So I worry about that. We are certainly not in a position to have any further loss of staff, given the challenges that we're already facing.
Well, and we thank you for sharing your thoughts and your experience on this. Aaron C. Spence, Virginia Beach City Public Schools Superintendent, and Yahoo Finance's Arthi Swaminathan.